everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please subscribe to my channel. And you know, that little subscribe button is down below waiting for you to click. Because guys, I only have 700 subscribers and I've been on YouTube for over 4 years. Struggles of being a small YouTuber that doesn't have any subscribers. If you are new here, I am Casey. Welcome to kaciecuse. I make lifestyle videos, vlogs, cooking videos, hauls, and nursing videos because I am currently a nursing student. I graduate in December, and I will definitely leave a link down below to a playlist of all of my nursing school experience videos. Today I'm going to begin doing some nursing school advice videos because I have been watching so many YouTubers lately that are in nursing school that have really inspired me, and I would love to spread my inspiration to all of you to maybe inspire you as well. So today I'm going to be bringing to you the do's and don'ts of nursing school. Now this is pertaining to all areas of nursing school, clinical and class. And I just want you to prepare yourself, because if you're going into nursing school, or if you're in nursing school, maybe you have to remind yourself of these things and just really let me drill them into your head, because I too need to follow my own advice and follow some of these do's and don'ts. And yeah, without further ado, let's just get started. I have 5 do's and 5 don'ts. Start with what you should not do. The number one thing that I've learned in nursing school is don't compare yourself to others. The second that you start worrying about what everyone else is doing and trying to better yourself the way someone else is bettering themselves, you're going to possibly fail. The only way you can get through nursing school is trying to focus on what you're doing and do things that are going to make you successful. Everyone is different, and I was kind of studying with groups and worrying about what their grades were and comparing myself to how they were studying and trying to study the way they studied, but it wasn't working for me in the semester that I ended up failing. So I definitely recommend, that was my biggest downfall in the fall of last year, was comparing myself to my peers and worrying about what they were doing, worrying if they were studying, worrying if they weren't studying, and how they were passing if they weren't studying, and so on and so forth. Don't think about those things. You will literally kill yourself. It's just awful. So just don't compare yourself to others in any way, shape, or form. On clinical, in class, just do your best and don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Number 2 has to do with test taking. Never, ever, ever change your answers. If you are going over your test, you answered all your questions and you're going back through, just checking your answers and everything, and you come to a question where you're kind of iffy on one or the other, the choices that you made, whatever answer you picked first is probably the right answer. This also was a huge downfall that I had taking my final last semester that I failed. I was between the 2 best answers and I picked the second best. And I did that about 17 times. If I had maybe even done that 2 times less, I would have passed the test. So just don't change your answers ever. Your first instinct is right. Almost 100% of the time. If you read over a question and you obviously see that, oh my god, I made a complete error there, and you have to change it, that's one thing. But if you're between 2 things and you're no, I was wrong. Let me change my answer to this other choice. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I'm telling you right now, you're gonna do it a couple of times and think, oh my god, I'm never gonna do that again. And then you do it again! It's awful. So don't change your answers.
Ever. Don't change them.
And along with that, with changing your answers, is kind of second guessing yourself, right? Don't second guess yourself. Don't be on clinical and you know the answer in your head, and your clinical instructor is asking you a question and you're holding it back. You're I know the answer, but I don't want to sound dumb if I'm wrong. Say it. Be okay with making mistakes. You're not going to get in trouble for it. Clinical is meant to be a learning experience, so don't second guess yourself. Be confident and just go in there, and don't flip-flop and think that you're doing something wrong, because you're probably doing it right. Number 3, do not procrastinate. Do not procrastinate or cram in all your study material into the day before the test or the day of the test. You definitely want to spread out your studying, and I mean, we're all guilty of cramming every once in a while, but don't make it a habit. Like, I know sometimes your week is busier than it was before, or you know, you have a lot of things going on and you just can't find the time to study anywhere before the test or a day before the test. So just try your best to spread out the material, kind of make yourself a schedule of when you're going to study which topic, and stick to it. And that way you won't end up having to cram everything into one day, or you know, 2 days before the test you're studying and you're cramming. It's just, it's not a good system, and don't make it a habit. Number 4 is ask for help. Go to reviews. Don't think that it's silly to get a little extra help in tutoring. Like, everyone needs a little bit of extra help every once in a while. It's no big deal. You just have to realize when you need the help and when you're just, you know, slacking. Sometimes you actually need a little more help getting through the material. It's not all going to come easy every single time. Certain topics are going to be easier for you to understand, and others you're going to need to kind of go more in depth with and go over a little bit more slowly so that you can understand it. And tutors are a great way to get that information in a way that's going to help you remember it. So I definitely recommend seeing a tutor, going to a study group where the study group reviews one topic that you guys are really having a hard time with, or a particularly challenging topic. So don't be afraid to participate in those. Don't be afraid to ask for help or ask questions during lecture. Don't be afraid to be the annoying person that raises their hand and asks for some clarification. Just do it. You have the opportunity to go over any tests with an instructor or a professor. Definitely take the time to go do that and look at those questions and see where you went wrong with your answering, or where you went right, your strong suits, your weak points. Do it. It's just very beneficial. Number 5 is don't ignore your needs. If you are feeling burnt out, or you need a break, you need to take a break. Go for a walk outside, do something with your family, go have froyo with your friends, you know, do something that you enjoy doing, even if it's just for an hour or 2 on the day that you're studying. Take a break and do those things that are going to make you feel better and that aren't going to stress you out. Don't make yourself stressed out. I did that a lot last semester, where I would go do things with my family and it would stress me out the whole time that I was doing it. But you need to enjoy those moments, and don't worry about studying all the time. I mean, it's impossible to just dedicate your whole life to studying. I mean, you have to find a balance. That's a huge thing. So don't ignore your needs. Take care of yourself. Do the things that you need to do to make yourself healthy. Eat good food. Exercise if you can, when you can, in any way that you can. I am a huge gym freak, even though I don't look like I am one. I love going to the gym, and lately I haven't really found time to do that, but it's okay. I found other ways to exercise, which just makes me feel good. I've done some at-home workouts. I've gone for walks with my dog and my family, and that just does a lot of good. So now moving on to the 5 things you should do during nursing school. These ones are a little bit, you know, give or take here and there, depending on the way you learn and, you know, your personal lifestyle. But I think the don'ts are a bigger thing to focus on than the do's. I don't know. Here are the 5 things you should do during nursing school. Number 1 is plan it out. Make a study schedule, and I think I kind of touched upon this in the don'ts. Organize your time, look at your calendar, look at where your week is a little bit busier and where it kind of starts to fall off, and you can have more time to do, you know, to work on your studies, and pencil it in and try to stick to that schedule. That way you'll have all your material reviewed before your test. And going along with planning, you should try to stay organized. I feel like most nursing students are pretty organized, but if you aren't an organized person going into nursing school, try to get a binder, or if you like to study on your computer, keep everything in its own file, in its own folder, and label everything and keep everything really organized. I'm a person personally the binder situation, printing everything out for class and keeping it in its own section. Another way to stay organized is to color code, which I personally really enjoy. I like to color code certain topics or certain colors, a lot of heart and vascular things. I use pink or red, blood, heart, that kind of thing. Anything to do with the lungs, I like to use a blue color. And everything else, you know, like GIGU, I use like orange or yellow because P and, you know. So just like those colors I like associate with those topics, and that helps me stay organized in my studies as well as in my notes. I kind of use certain colors to remember different topics, and I take my notes in that color, and it helps me remember the information. Like pull it, like, oh, that was green pen. What do I see in my notes that was in green pen? So yeah, that's another one of my little tips. So number 2, to practice questions. This was something that I didn't really do until last semester, and it did help me, but I probably should have done it a little bit more wisely. So yes, I have this wonderful book called Lippincotts Q&A Review NCLEX RN. It's amazing. I purchased that on Amazon. I want to say it was under $30. It was fairly, you know, inexpensive, and it has over 6,000 questions in it. So it's awesome. I've used it to study for my upcoming tests. It's really helped me. In my school anyways, the teachers like to pull questions from books like these. These are obviously NCLEX style questions, and my school teaches and makes tests that are NCLEX style, so this really is beneficial. I don't know if all schools provide them, but my school provided us with these ATI books, and they also have test questions, and these are really good reviews of like the material that you're learning. They kind of condense it all and make it easier to understand. They put it kind of in layman's terms, but still make you sound smart if you like try to explain yourself, and they have questions in them. And I go online to Lippincott, which all of our textbooks are through, and there's practice quizzes on there. So I like to prepare myself for tests by answering and practicing a lot of questions. There's actually a tutor that I went to. I just want to see her one day, and she's a lady that comes and talks to our school every now and again, and one of the number one things she has people do to prepare for the NCLEX is practice tons of questions. So I mean, we're ultimately preparing for the NCLEX, so answering these questions is going to benefit us either way for the tests that we're taking or in the long run for the NCLEX. So it's a huge tip. Definitely practice questions before your tests. Number 3 is prepare for class. Now I know it's hard to sometimes, like if you have a test coming, to prepare for the class that's on the day of your test or the day after your test, but when you have time, just kind of look over like the reading. You don't have to read the whole thing, but kind of browse it and you know, look over like some of the key points, the key topics, the key phrases, and write them down and just have them so that when you're in class you kind of like recognize, oh, that was from my reading, I kind of remember that. And it makes a lot more sense when you're in class and you're able to take away a little bit more from lecture because you already knew more material than you were given in lecture. Watch videos if your teachers provide them. I found the Khan Academy videos very helpful. Some of our teachers required us to watch them before class anyways. So I'll leave their website and their YouTube link down below. You can find tons of videos on pretty much any topic. They do a lot of nursing topics, and those are very helpful to prepare for class. Even if you just watch those videos, helpful for sure. Number 4, I kind of already touched upon in the don'ts, like don't second guess yourself. Number 4 is be confident. Like I said, the more confident you are and the less like shaky you feel, the better you'll do. You'll just like, you know, be confident with your answers, be confident in clinical. It'll make you seem smarter even if you come out with the wrong information in the long run. You know, your instructors will recognize that you're like taking initiative, you're being confident, and they will applaud that. And number 5 is to stress manage. Make sure you are able to manage your stress in whatever way that you can. Make sure you are social, you know, you're talking to your friends, your family. You're not like isolating yourself and going crazy. Like, be social, go out into the world, explore, and, you know, do things that make you happy with the people that you love, and that will lower your stress. I also, to stress manage, I like to take baths, I like to make YouTube videos. This helps me in so many ways. I like to watch YouTube, you know, watch some Netflix, cook a meal. Like, I love cooking, so those kinds of things really relax me and help me manage my stress. Like, I can take my stress out on that. And of course, exercising, like I mentioned, sometimes it stresses me out that I should be exercising, but don't let it. Do the things that you love to do and don't let those things stress you out. Alright guys, I hope that this video helps you if you're going to be starting nursing school or if you're in the midst of nursing school. And if you have any advice to give me or anyone else who's watching this video, please go ahead and leave that down below in the comments. And make sure you subscribe to my channel for more nursing videos and more other, lifestyle videos like this from me. And I will see you all on another time. Bye everyone! This is it, guys. Wish me luck on my first test in Nursing 212, take 2.